Yeah, see, I think India is such a huge market, and we've not, and if you go and look up reports, it runs into billions of dollars in size, right? To me, I think that's not really, when people put market size figures on PowerPoint slides, I really ask why, because, the actual addressable market might be different for each brand. For example, we have a brand out there which is only focused at millennial personal care, right? Now that market size is slightly different from, the whole personal care as a market, right? So, I mean, I can't give you a figure because, I think for me, it's like whenever a startup comes and says, here is a 5-year projection, I say, wow, how do you even estimate whether you're going to survive for 1 year? So it's better to tell me that how are you going to use the money that we've given you, in the first 1 year to scale up to that next level. Because most startups are experiments, right? They are getting to market with new products and they are learning. Obviously, there is an estimate about where they can go, but it's better to know where the money is going to be spent to get them to that next level. Yeah, it is. And that was, I mean, I think it came in a little late, but, the platform is completely open for international as well as Indian brands. Yeah. And sometimes international brands, it could also be later stage brands. Because, sometimes when a brand starts in the US, they want to first establish the market there. And now they're thinking of India as a market. So which means that it is probably much later stage, right? They're very well capitalized, but they don't understand the Indian market. So that's where we can add value to it. Mumbai Angels is an angel network. It is an angel investment network. Very familiar with them, and we've co-invested along with them a number of times. But Mumbai Angels is not an accelerator program for growth stage companies. So what we are doing here is one part is just syndication of capital. That means you're from different parts and walks of life, and I'm throwing a deal open for you, and all of you are saying, hey, I want to invest 5 lakhs, I want to invest 20 lakhs, whatever, right? That's one part of the problem. And capital, to me, is just a really small part of the problem. The bigger part of the problem is to get the right mentor, the right advice, the right opportunities for scaling up. That is the larger problem that we need to fix. Because, companies that are growing rapidly, obviously capital is a requirement, no doubt about it, but all these other stuff is more important. And that's what we bring to the table as a platform.
So one is there's a because of India being such a big market, right? There's a slight difference in the kinds of buyers or the kind of consumer there is, and very rarely is it defined by larger corporates because they want to reach a market that's much larger than what it is. Now, for example, you just spoke a little while ago about a millennial personal care brand. Now it's for teens, it's for a certain age, it's what they like, it's what they need, right? And it's nothing is marketed for them, nothing is made specifically for them. Now today there's brands that are much more specific in that direction. So that's really where the difference from that and this is. So once you're in a much larger ecosystem of distribution and getting into that network of retail and others, then you need to go at a much more broader mass scale of things. But then if you're in the digital world, it's much easier for you to be focused and get your brand out there.
And I'll add to Rana, I don't know whether you've seen, over the last few years, you must have seen that a lot of corporates, large corporates, want to get into the startup ecosystem. Guess why? Because they feel that they've become big enough and the process inside is much slower now, more expensive to get out a product, right? But they have the resources, they have the distribution channels, they have the capital, they have a brand. What are they looking for? They're looking for the latest and new technology or new ways of marketing, new consumer brands. What happened to Bira, for example, right? Came from nowhere, started with a craft beer, and then scaled up rapidly, right? What happened with Epigamia? What happened with, a bunch of these brands that came from nowhere, right? And it was probably just a business plan saying, oh, we just attack this space. Raw Pressery, just attack this space of health, drinks. So I think in a lot of areas in consumerism in India, any startup brand can actually have the advantage of speed because they can make decisions faster and move with speed. What do the large corporates want? They want speed. What do the startup guys want? Scale. And that's the whole intent of this program, is to bring the large corporates in, so not leave them out. So we have partners from large corporates coming in into the program. And for them, it's like either we make this, we partner with them, or we acquire them. And mostly it always starts off with a very strong partnership model, right? Because they want to also understand the market. Yeah.
See, that definitely is the case. And again, it comes as much as it's from us, it's also from the consumer today. Today, if a consumer has options that he can for his everyday needs that are sustainable, that there is a consumer out there who's willing to pay more, if not the same price for something like that. See, then, so that's again very specific to consumers. It's important to educate the entire lot of people to move that direction, but there's business for a certain bunch of people, and we see that growing every day. And you'll see a bunch of those kind of companies in the program for sure.
And
We do. I'm saying there's two ways to it. 100%, yes, I believe in it. 100%, that's the direction we'd want to head. But in today's social system, right, the way it is, you'll always have to create a balance, because what you're also trying to create in this country is a set of entrepreneurs. Is a set of entrepreneurs who can build brands that are globally standing. And today is the time and opportunity in India which you don't want to lose out on, right? So I think everything works in a fine balance of the way things are. Today you see film sets with carbon footprint and making sure that the sets are recycled and things like that. So in every industry or certain vertical, there's that direction being taken. There's many corporates who don't use paper anymore, right? So I think it's first steps, and the sense of educating through brands is also a great exercise for sure.
Just adding to Rana, I think the new consumer, the urban consumer, is getting very, very aware of the problem that you just said. So today, some of our children, when we go to stores, they don't want to take a plastic bag. They'd rather carry the goods themselves and put it in the car, right? And the new set of entrepreneurs that are coming in are thinking about this. And they don't want to make a plastic bag and give it. Now they want to obviously make a biodegradable paper bag, right? Or find another way to package it. So I think the advent and awareness of the urban consumer itself will change that mindset. And I mean, you will see more and more of that coming in. Yeah. Sure. Sure. You know, sustainability is, as you know, the material and everything like that is not the fastest scalable method. But definitely, we are asking the companies to look at that as an element. Yes.
Right. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much for coming in. Thanks.
ओके सो फर्स्टली अर्बन आई के बारे में थोड़ा सा आप जानना चाहेंगे इसके बारे में थोड़ा बता दीजिए एंड सॉरी आई एम आस्किंग योर नेम बट यू हैव टू रिपीट आई कांट
So, Urban Eye is a program
Come up inside,
for
actually.
for early growth startups which want to scale up in Indian market, primarily digital consumer brands in the personal care space, fashion and accessories, food and beverages, and digital commerce. The program allows the company to access a platform for capital, for celebrity engagement, for marketing and sales support.
ओके यू टेल मी अबाउट द कोलैबोरेशन विद दिस
I've been working with Anthill for about a year and a half, and the first program that we ran was in technology, and technology specifically for the entertainment and media business. And we saw a lot of progress, a lot of success in that, and found two or three very, very interesting technologies that we now adapted into our system itself. And we said, let's move on and start building a consumer brand base. Because over the years, I've been partnered with Kwan for many years now. And we've seen a completely different strategy of advertising in today's consumer world. And we realized it's more specific, it's more storytelling based. It's the classic advertising agencies have now become dinosaurs. There's nothing really happening there. So we realized, why not build a specific program? Find brands that need this certain market and first scale them up, see if there's a celebrity that needs to be attached and also to scale them up further. So that's really what the program offers.
Okay, so I was going to this thing introduction, and wherein I found the the application time is very less. I found it. It's only 23rd December. As you have launched this today, many of them might be not knowing about this, are not aware about this. Do you think this timing is less and you should have exceeded the timing?
Yeah, to be honest, yeah, you're right. And I think we have a very short window for applications. But because this is a first one, it doesn't mean that it's going to stop here. After 6 months, we'll look at other brands coming in. And it doesn't stop us from selecting a brand after the 6 months is over, on a random basis. It doesn't have to be that, they all have to come together as a batch. The first batch, we wanted to bring it together because then there's a lot of learning and sharing. And then from the second batch, we are open for brands to come directly to us, and we see, okay, is this a company that we can both help scale up and we help use the ecosystem, and then we can bring it on.
Okay, so Rana, how difficult it is for you to and manage this acting and as well as entrepreneur life?
See, one other thing, to me, it feels like it's one and the same thing, right? I have to either endorse a brand or I can just make an early stage startup get to becoming a brand. So I think it's pretty much the same thing for me. It doesn't take too much of my time, and I work with smart people like Prasad and his team.
Right.
So I think I'm okay.
Okay,
Yes, tell the same story again and again.
okay. But tell us how is it collaborating with him?
It's
With Rana?
fantastic. Rana is, I think, one of the few people in the industry, and I think I'm sure a lot more. But he has the ability to think broader, higher from a vision category. He is very passionate, very involved. And when you said whether acting or this, I think he likes both. And for him, it's to bring this on a common platform of storytelling. And that's that's his intent to actually scale this up. And I couldn't find a better partner than Rana to help build this business for us.
What is that one thing which you focuses on when you collaborate with any brand?
You see, first, like just to add to what Prasad said last, the reason also with specific time programs, we didn't want to take on too many brands. We ultimately, it's a program we need to see that they all scale to a certain size by the time we open our next round, right? For us, it's to me, me specifically, it will be in the advertising space, in the space of directly getting to that consumer, right? So that's the real big space that I'd like to fix. And today, with partnerships with Quan and others, that's a real speed scale that we're looking for brands, and I think that will be my focus area for each of them.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.